We're back. Welcome to another episode of the Pressure on Purpose podcast. Again, I'm your host, Gabrielle Rocker, sitting here with my co-host,
Alex
Alexandria
Dollar.
Dollar.
Woohoo! Make some noise.
Today, we're going to talk about something that is scary. We're going to talk about something that's uncomfortable. We're going to talk about something that people often try to avoid. People literally run from this topic. And that topic is, in short, change. We're talking about new. We're talking about new beginnings. We're talking about endings. We're talking about responsibilities and opportunities that come and that go. We are talking about change, the fact that nothing lasts forever.
Yeah.
When you hear nothing lasts forever, what comes to mind? Do you get anxiety or do you get excited? Do you love that nothing lasts forever? Or if you could have it your way, would you stay in the same position doing the same thing forever?
I get excited. I have a personality to where I get kind of bored with things quickly. I enjoy spontaneous decisions and things that, feel uncomfortable because I know what those things lead to. So me personally, I love change. I welcome change. I think everything happens for a reason. But there's so many people that I know that are the complete opposite of that. Change literally freaks them out.
Yes.
It makes them have like crazy anxiety.
Yeah. Absolutely.
What about you?
I am a person where I like change. When I interview for jobs and they ask, why are you looking into this position? Because I'm in the hospitality and events industry. I often say because no 2 days are alike. Mm-hmm. Things are different. They're not the same. I don't like the same thing every day. I don't even like seeing the same people every day. I don't like to wear the same thing every day. I change my hair up. I don't like to see myself the same every day. So change excites me.
Okay.
I like change. I like the fact that nothing lasts forever.
Well, tell the people a little bit more about what you do, because I still think after all these episodes, they're still not super clear.
Oh, I'm in events. I do events for the corporate sectors. I do events. I do social events. I work for a municipality right now, but I do events. I do banquets. I do galas. I do all type of events.
Tell me this. How would you recognize when you're in a particular season of your life or career, mm-hmm. and what signals tell you when that season is coming to an end?
I would say I call it a holy frustration. I call it a holy frustration. So when something you used to have peace and a grace for, when that leaves and you no longer have it, I think it's time for change. I think it's time to leave.
Like what?
I wanted to be a receptionist. Being a receptionist was my dream job. And so I was a receptionist, and about 9 months into the job, I started to hate when the phone rang. I didn't like seeing people walk in the door.
Oh.
It was time to go. I no longer had grace. I no longer had a peace with even being there. The whole thing just frustrated me. Everything, administration, everything was changing. It was a changing of the guards, but it was also time for me to go. Yeah. And in that moment, it was a chance for me to really lean into change. Yeah. And change was, it was scary. It was uncomfortable, especially because I went into it kind of thinking I was going to be there longer than I was. Yeah. I remember going to work one morning and God telling me, you won't be there long. Okay. And so he was teaching me to go into things with a season-like mindset. And so right then and there, I was able to recognize this is new, this is great, but nothing lasts forever.
Yeah.
What about you?
I think mine was one time in the summer when I was working in the media industry for my dad's church. I was running the media department for his broadcasts and stuff like that. So it was just like a lot. I was like 20-something years old, overseeing like 30-something employees. And I enjoyed it until I didn't. I went on a vacation with me and my little sister. We went to Made in America. It's like a festival that Jay-Z puts on. And I remember going to that festival. We were backstage, and I just saw like managers and PR reps and, a lot of the behind the scenes stuff. And I was just so inspired, and something was just nudging me like, this is the life that you want to live. Like, this is the field that you want to be in, like in that moment. I just knew.
Wow.
And I remember going back to the hotel later on that day, just telling my sister, like, I just have this urge to make a career change. Like, I really want to do this.
Wow.
I really want to work in the music industry. It was like a tug that I've never had before, you know, because you're making good money.
Yeah.
I was in a position, quote unquote, of power as a director. So young as well, making the most I've ever made. Living in a nice place as well. But I just, like you said, like I was agitated and I had no peace.
Yes.
And as soon as I got back, like it was like I couldn't rest. Everything just kind of played out the way it was supposed to be, and I was gone in a matter of like two weeks after that.
And I think what's so beautiful about that is that moment was prophetic, and I think people need to recognize that. Oftentimes, I'm not going to say all the time, but proximity is prophetic, and that was a prophetic moment for you to literally see what you were about to walk into. It was almost like God showing you what's on the other side. If you would let go of where you already were, especially because there was no logical reason for you to let it go. Yet you were struggling internally with, I know I need to let this go.
Because I also think something important you told me the other day was people get passion confused with purpose. Right?
Yeah.
And because I was passionate with editing and I was passionate with producing and, everything that had to do with media, I was getting that confused with my purpose, which was being in the music industry and being an A&R and being an executive.
Yes.
You can have multiple passions, but you still got to drive it in and figure out, okay, what do I enjoy doing? What do I like to do? And what am I here to do?
Yes.
It makes a world of a difference.
I think it's good with recognizing when it's time to let go and moving on and taking that leap.
Yeah.
I will say though, I think sometimes the generation before us suffocates us and they kind of hold us down.
Okay.
And and I'll take accountability and say a lot of times, our generation won't prepare for the platform that we want or the salary that we want. Yeah. Right. But I think it's there's two sides. I know there's two sides to every story. And so we want to move on. Sometimes we don't prepare. But then there's sometimes we do prepare, but we don't prepare the way that the generation or those before us want us to prepare. And so they'll say, you aren't prepared and suffocate us. Do you think there's some type of gatekeeping when we do try to level up and let go?
Oh, yeah. I feel like I run into that all the time. And my peers and my friends, my family, we all pretty much run into the gatekeepers, the OGs.
Why is there gatekeeping?
I can only kind of speak for my industry, but I'm already coming in this as a young Black woman. So I'm already got, already there's something already against me. You know what I'm saying? Because of my gender. But I think that when people become so powerful and comfortable in their roles, it kind of feeds their ego, and they're less likely to reach their hand back and help the next generation. I feel like simply because they don't want to. Wow. And nobody's calling them out on it, and they're not looking at it as a responsibility because they're so focused on the now and telling people what to do and having that power. They're so addicted to it that they're not thinking, okay, one day I'm going to physically not be able to walk out this role.
Yes.
And who's going to follow in my steps and succeed in this,
I agree. I think there's a lot of people are comfortable and they're familiar with being the teacher that they're afraid to be a student again. So because I know this industry like the back of my hand, I've been doing this for 30 years, I'm not going to move because it's like, oh, well, I'm not needed. Where else am I going to go? And it's like, you're needed in a whole new industry, you're needed in a whole new room, area, region. But because you will be the student there, you can't be the teacher, you're not comfortable. You won't.
You're pushing back.
Yeah, you're pushing back. You're comfortable with where you are. I think oftentimes you hear older people say, oh, you're ready for something that'll crush you. And I thought about that and I'm like, not really. Because if you can't swim, if you can't swim, you can still be thrown in the pool. You won't drown if a lifeguard is on duty. And so I think the older generation sometimes throw us in things that we're not ready for and be a lifeguard. But they're not willing to be a lifeguard. And that's why they say, if I put you there, you going to fall. Not if you'll catch me.
Right.
But you don't want to catch me.
It's like leading with negativity.
Because you really don't want to move. I think
it feeds. We don't talk about it enough, but it's an ego thing.
Oh, it's an ego. Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like some of these people that have been in the positions, not to cut you off, but some of these people that have been in positions for so long and they're used to power. You know what I'm saying? Like they can't help but to be filled up with that every time they walk in an establishment because that's what fuels them.
They won't even give knowledge freely. They want the mother may I type thing.
Or they'll make you beg for it.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. It has to be something.
Yes.
A reason of why they're putting you on or putting you in position.
They don't want to be.
I think it's really strange.
Yeah, they don't want to be a lifeguard. And some of it may be what they had to go through. I don't know. I wasn't there to witness it.
Yeah.
But as sweet as my grandparents were, and all the grandmommies and grandpoppies in the world, I can't see them being those type of people that held people back and suffocated them, from growing. I think they made a way.
Maybe not.
But I don't know, because they do say the way grandparents, that's off topic, but the way grandparents treated us is not the way they try.
Yeah,
they treat their kids.
We have a whole different experience of our grandparents.
Absolutely.
But tell me this. What does it actually look like to invest in the new generation beyond just mentoring and giving advice to you?
I think, like I said, giving an opportunity, throwing people in pools and seeing if they swim, and if they can't, being there to catch them.
Yeah. And making that a priority.
Yes.
Not when somebody comes up to you and says, oh, can you mentor me? Oh, can you da-da-da? The same way you make it a priority to come to work and do your job.
Yeah.
Make it a mental note. Like, let me make sure that I'm intentionally passing on my knowledge to the next person.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Because people put that on the back burner.
Yes.
And then, you know what I'm saying, make it seem like, oh, I'm open to it. It's like you're not actively doing it, though.
Absolutely. That's a really good point. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm always here. I'm always a resource. And it's like, no, come to me, because when you don't, a lot of times when you're in something new and you're young, getting your start, you don't even know what you don't know. You don't even know the questions to ask.
And you don't feel comfortable. I know for me, I'm like a little introvert. I'm not going to lie sometimes. When I first got into the music industry, they tell you just kind of sit back and observe.
Yes.
Especially in the big rooms and with the big dogs.
Yes.
Don't ask a lot of questions. Read the room. So I was always that person kind of just like making mental notes. But I would have loved if I had a mentor or somebody to say, hey, like, this is why we do this. Yeah. This is how this connects. And then you'll get this.
And and recognizing that preparation looks different depending on the generation, depending on age.
Yeah.
Don't say that I'm not willing to prepare for something when I don't prepare the way you prepared. You prepared by going through books and highlighting and writing pages and pages of notes. I prepare by watching 10-minute videos. Don't say I'm not preparing. You just on that iPad all day. Y'all so digital. That's how I prepare.
Hey.
That's how I prepare. And that's fine. Yeah. But I think, if you don't do things their way, it doesn't count.
Yeah.
When you think about new opportunities or taking on new responsibilities or just doing something that you've never done before, how do you know if it's fear holding you back or just being cautious?
Me personally?
Yeah.
When it comes to new opportunities, how do I know if it's fear holding me back?
Or if you're just really
cautious?
Yeah.
I think that I've established a level of self-awareness. Okay. And I know when something is fear-based, and I also know where that could have possibly came from. That's why I think it's really important when you're entering a new career or making a big transition to watch who you talk to.
Watch who you run it by.
Watch who you run it by. When I decided to leave my job at Reach Records in Atlanta and take my job here in Nashville, I only told my mom and my dad at the time. I didn't tell anybody else.
You didn't run it by a lot of people.
because I didn't want to hear people's experience or thoughts about Nashville or moving to, you know, a smaller, well, it's not big, but it's not small. It's like moving to a different city, and the companies, their opinions, just all of that stuff, because I know how easily thoughts can mold my, you know, decision when it comes to business.
People project.
That's the cautious part of me. Like, okay, well, maybe I should consider that. But with that happening to me so many times, now when I get certain news, I think it's the best thing that you can do is just keep it to yourself. I know people are always like, you should get feedback or you should run it by this or that person. Tell a good one or two people that you really confide in and
believe
trust.
into you.
Yeah, like my parents have a business background, and I know they want the best for me, so I was able to feed off of them.
Yes.
But there's no way that I would suggest for people to like talk to people who could possibly instill any type of fear in you or make you think about things that are just, I mean, it might be relevant, but it's just like
consider their credibility. Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
If we traded lives, would I want to have your life?
Right.
And you're sitting here telling me what to do and what not to do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. If this is a risk, don't ask someone who's never taken a risk. When you look at their life, they play it safe.
Or they've taken a risk and they still work at a, you know, food chain. See what I'm saying? It's not only about taking risks, but it's about the fruit that you've produced.
Yeah.
Have you taken risks? Has it worked? Where's your fruit?
Right.
Those are the people that I want to bounce things off of and get opinions on, you know?
Yes. I think the way that I kind of look at when new opportunities come, I can tell if it is fear-based or am I just being cautious and trying to just make smart decisions. I think I look at it peace versus fear when it comes down to it.
Yeah.
Does the thought of it make me cringe or does it get me excited? So if the thought of it gives me excitement, I really want it, but I can tell you every negative outcome on why it wouldn't work or why I'm not qualified, then I think that's something where it's fear-based.
Okay.
It's fear-based because I obviously want it. I have the desire is there, but I have every reason on why it won't work.
Yeah.
Well, then you're afraid.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Instead of looking at why it would work. I think when you don't have peace about it, the second you hear it, you're like, what? No. That don't even align with me. Yeah, I don't even desire that.
You know.
That has nothing, no.
So I hate when people be like, oh, I gotta, you know, I gotta think about it.
Yeah.
Even I gotta pray about it. I respect it, but you know.
But you do know. But I think too, it also gives people time when they have to pray about it and think about it. It's giving them time sometimes to get over that fear too.
Yeah.
You know?
See, that's what I'm saying. I can only speak for myself in these type of situations because it's like, I feel like my gut that people say is my gut or that feeling that you get.
Yeah.
That's the Holy Spirit, right?
Yes.
So I've kind of trained, you know, myself to not overthink.
Yes.
So when things happen, yes, I take time to think about it and push out the pros and cons. But I do also believe in like hearing from God and moving.
If you want it, you go after it.
If I want it, I go after it.
And
when it comes, I know it's for me or I don't. Period.
Okay. And are you okay? Sometimes you want it, but things don't work out. Are you one of those that are just willing? If it don't work out, we're gonna have to see that it doesn't work out. But I'm not gonna sit here and tell myself it's not gonna work out before I even try to see.
If it doesn't work out, it wasn't for me.
And you're fine with that.
I'm fine with it.
But you're not. But I think that's good. You're not going to sit and suffocate yourself and tell yourself it's not going to work out, so I'm not even going to try. You're not one of those.
No.
If it doesn't work out, we got to get to the other side for me to find that out.
I think some people hurt themselves by
they hold
sitting
themselves back.
and creating all of this confusion with their own thoughts, other people's thoughts. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
They're delaying their blessing because they're afraid to just act.
Yes.
I see it so many times, and it's just like, you know, if that's for you, you know, if it's your open door, walk through it. What are you waiting on?
But what gives you such a leaping and a risky type of risk?
Doing it before and the feeling that I got and the outcome it gave me, right? Like there has been a time where an opportunity has came to me and I moved too slow or I overthought it and the opportunity left.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
It was a great opportunity, but it was like, okay, that wasn't mine, and I didn't move fast enough because I was moving out of fear. That was fear based.
It's one of those, the opportunity of a lifetime is only worth the lifetime of the opportunity. Yeah. Like, opportunities die too.
They die.
Okay.
So I think there's a balance between like hearing from God, you know, following your gut, but also not, you know, being ignorant and being easily persuaded to where you can't move when things come your way.
I think that's good. So with that, what advice would you give someone who is going through a transition season or it's time for new?
What advice would I give for somebody going through a transition? Transitions are uncomfortable. They can be really stressful. Yeah. I think the first thing, and I just was talking to my cousin about this, it's like the first thing I do when I'm going through major transitions, if it's a career, if it's a relationship, anything, I have to go through like a period of self-care. Okay. I know I said that on other episode, but I think it does so much because all of the anxiety and fear that I might be like shuffling through, I have to release that because I can't think properly and clearly if I'm under like pressure or I can't think straight because I'm stressed. Right. You know what I'm saying? So the first thing that I think is really important that people negate, go get a massage, go watch movies on the weekend, go walk around the park. Like relax. You make great decisions when you are relaxed.
Okay, good.
Relax. Okay. If that takes you 2 days to relax or if it takes you 3 weeks, make sure you put yourself first and say, let me pour into myself so I can make a clear decision first. That'll be my first thing.
I think that's good. I think I would tell people it came to pass is not just for negative things. And we use that a lot. You know, this too shall pass, right? Yeah. It came to pass. It's not just for the negative. It's for the positive things too. That books are full of great chapters, but those chapters end as well. And it doesn't mean that a bad chapter is coming next. It just means there's more good to come. There's different, there's new, there's transition. And so just to keep that in mind, I have something that I want to read to you all from the Pressure on Purpose devotional. And it's a segment that says, accept it. Accept when it is the end of an assignment. Overstaying your season at a place will result in frustration and an unfulfilled life. Don't be afraid to move on to new things. When God says your time is up, believe him. Once your assignment ends, your favor and grace for the assignment ends too. Life is full of multiple assignments. Rejoice when you have completed an assignment and move on. Don't allow comfortability and familiarity to be your idol. God is always moving. Learn to go into things with a season-like mindset. Everything isn't meant to last forever.
Amen. Say that again for the old people in the back.
Nothing lasts forever.
Say it again for the people who've been at their jobs for 55 years.
10 years. Or it can be
let
6
it go,
months.
Let it go.
Absolutely. I think also know this, that seasons are, don't let them people tell you ain't been at that job long enough or in position long enough to move up or to move on. Seasons have different time frames and time limits. So sometimes God means 2 weeks. Other times he means 20 years. It really depends. Listen to God. But when he says time is up, time is up. And of course, we have to end it with my absolutely's. Absolutely's is without qualification, without restriction, without limitation. Yeah. Okay? Is change inevitable? Absolutely. Is change uncomfortable? Absolutely. Does anything last forever? Absolutely not. Thank you for watching and stay tuned. Our next episode is our season finale. You don't want to miss it. This is Pressure on Purpose. I'm Gabrielle Rocker.
I'm Alex Dollar. We out.